Have you ever noticed that American English has this kind of hidden music to it? I mean, it's not just about the words you say, but how you say them. Well, today, we're going to crack that code. We're diving into intonation to see how just a tiny change in your voice can literally change everything.
Okay, so listen to this sentence. I'm just going to say it completely flat, totally neutral. I didn't say she stole the money. Kind of boring, right? It's just a string of words. But what happens when we start to add a little of that music?
Okay, listen again. I didn't say she stole the money. Whoa, did you hear that? Just by putting the stress on I, the meaning flips. It's not just a denial anymore. It's implying, hey, I didn't say it, but somebody else sure did.
All right, let's try it again, but we'll move that stress. I didn't say she stole the money. Now, what does it mean? Right, it means somebody else is the thief. I'm basically pointing the finger away from her and onto someone else.
And okay, one last time. Let's hear it like this. I didn't say she stole the money. And in this version, well, maybe she stole the jewels or the car, just not the money. The entire accusation changes.
So think about that. The words are exactly the same in every single example, but we got three totally different meanings. How is that even possible? How can one sentence hide so much information? Well, the answer is all in that secret sound code.
And that's exactly what we're going to get into right now. We're going to decode this whole thing. Let's start with the big question. What is this thing we keep calling intonation?
You know, the easiest way to think about it is that intonation is the melody of your speech. It's the music, that rising and falling of your voice that tells people what you're really trying to say. It shows them what's important, what your emotion is. It's all the feeling and focus packed right into the sound.
So if intonation is the music, where does that melody actually happen? Well, it all comes down to one key word in every phrase. We call it the focus word, and that's where all the magic is. Let's figure out how to find it.
So, to find that focus word, you first got to know that English basically has two kinds of words. You've got your content words. These are the heavy lifters, the nouns, verbs, and adjectives that carry all the meaning. And then you have function words, the little grammar words, the glue that holds everything together. That vocal melody we're talking about, it almost always lands on one of those big, important content words.
Finding that word is actually a super simple two-step deal. First, you just break your sentence down into thought groups, basically little chunks you can say easily in one breath. Then you just look for the focus word. And here's the trick. In a normal sentence, it's usually the very last content word in that group. That's your target. Okay, so you found your focus word. Now what? Well, now you get to use your vocal toolkit. It's full of different melodies you can use. We're going to look at the three most common ones you'll hear all the time in American English. First up, we've got the falling tone. This is where your voice drops down on the focus word. It's like putting a period at the end of your sentence. It sounds confident, final. You'll use it for statements and for questions starting with what, where, or when. Listen, where are you from? That fall at the end says, I'm done, now it's your turn to talk.
Next, we have the complete opposite, the rising tone. This time, your voice goes up. This is your go-to for any yes or no question. That upward melody is a signal that says, I'm waiting for an answer, or maybe, hey, I'm not finished yet. It feels really open and questioning. Like, do you like tea? Hear how that little lift at the end just begs for a response?
Now this one is my personal favorite, the fall-rise tone. Your voice dips down and then it comes back up just a little bit. This is the sound of nuance. It's what you use when you want to be polite, or to show you're not totally sure about something, or to hint that there's a but coming. So if your friend asks how the movie was, and you say, it's okay, just okay, what you're really saying is, it wasn't great. It's so useful.
All right, so that's the theory, but let's see how this stuff actually works in the real world. Let's put these melodies into action in conversations you're probably having every single day. Here are those patterns back to back. For a what question, your voice drops. What time is it? For a yes or no question, it goes up. Are you free? And check this out. For choices, you rise on the first one and fall on the last one to show you're done. Do you want tea or coffee? It's a neat little pattern.
Let's try another classic example you've definitely heard before, a shopping list. When you start the list, you use a rising tone because you're signaling that there's more to come. So you'd say something like, we need eggs.
And you keep that rising pattern going for every item that's in the middle of the list. That little lift keeps your listener engaged, letting them know, hang on, I'm not done yet. So, milk.
And then, finally, when you get to the very last thing on the list, you switch to that falling tone. And bread. That drop is the signal. It's the sound that says, okay, list complete. It's like a vocal period at the end of the thought.
So now you know the code. You've seen the examples. The only thing left to do is to actually make this stuff a habit. So let's put together a super simple plan you can use to start practicing right away.
Here's a really powerful 3-step routine. First, try shadowing. It's easy. Just find a short clip of a native speaker and copy their melody. Don't worry about the words, just mimic the music. Second, do some focus swapping. Take one sentence, like our stole the money example, and just say it a few times, changing which word you stress each time. And finally, record and compare. Just pull out your phone, record yourself saying a simple statement and a question, and then listen back. Can you actually hear that fall and that rise? This is how you really train your ear and your voice to work together.
Because when you get right down to it, that's what this is all about. Intonation isn't some boring grammar rule, it's a tool. It's how you inject your personality, your meaning, your emotion into the words you say. So now that you have the key to the secret sound code, what new things are you going to say? What meanings are you ready to unlock?